I bought a chair. It's a Kullaberg. Let's assemble it. Okay, so why did I buy a chair and why am I so excited for it? Well, the reason why I bought this chair is so that I can sit here at this work table. Which makes sense, right? Because sometimes it's nice to sit and work at a height that this work table's at. Because all the other chairs that I have in the office are way too low. And before I tell you why I'm so excited about this, let's have some fun. Okay, these are the instructions that came with the chair. I'm gonna rip those apart. And I want to challenge myself to see how quickly I can assemble this thing without any instructions. Shouldn't be that hard, it's a chair. Okay, ready, set, go! Assuming that goes there. Definitely thought this would be easier. Definitely the wrong way around. Home stretch, baby. What does this do? And tight. 8 minutes, 22 seconds. I don't want to talk about it. But it looks like the chair works. And I'm getting dizzy. Now to the part where I tell you why I'm so excited for this chair. You see, as I just said, I want a chair that allows me to sit at a comfortable height, and all my other chairs in the room here are way too low. And as a matter of fact, so is this one. And that's why I'm excited. I'm excited because now we get to modify this chair to not only be at the right height, but also maybe have some additional functionality. So there's a lot of things I like about this chair. For one, it swivels. For two, it's height adjustable. And I think it looks pretty good. The obvious things I want to improve are, one, the height. I want a chair that is much higher so it's comfortable to sit and work at this high work table. Two, it doesn't roll. I want to put wheels on it. And three, since I'm gonna have this thing in my workshop and it takes up a certain amount of floor space anyways, I might as well use that floor space for a bit more than just a chair. So what I wanna do is build in some extra storage and functionality underneath here. So that means first I'm gonna figure out how much higher I want this chair to be, and then I'm gonna start making a base for it. Okay, so what I found out here with this not at all sketchy setup is that I wanna raise the total height of the stool with 16.5 centimeters. 6.5 of those are going to be the height of the wheels. So that means that I will need to build a base that raises the entire thing 10 centimeters. Let's get started. So the basic box here is glued up and good to go. I've also added 4 corner pieces that I cut out of 2x4, in which I then drilled some holes that I'm now screwing some bolts through. And these bolts now go into the threaded inserts that are in the bottom of the legs. And with that, the frame of the chair and this little box that we made are connected. It's now time to attach some wheels and see if the height is where we want it. Haha! I think I'm happy with the height as it is now. I can vary it between having it low enough that I can scooch under here and work with something like really precise, or I can have it high enough to where I comfortably can like sit and, I don't know, do stuff. We could call the project right there and say that we're happy with it, but I want to have a little bit of fun with this. So I want to make some specialized compartments in different areas around the base of this chair where I can store different things that would be convenient to have with me at all times. I'm thinking things like a place to rest a drill or something, maybe a slot for a bottle of glue, or who knows, we'll figure out something fun. So that's what I'm going to start with doing now. I'm going to spend a little bit of time figuring out what I want in here, and then I'll start with building different types of compartments in the open spaces that are around this chair. So I'm going to go gather up some stuff that I might find useful to have with me, and then just start building. Okay, so a lot of things are happening right now. I just wanted to show you a quick little tip for, let's call it steam bending wood. If you apply some moisture to the wood and then stick it in a microwave, that microwave will heat up all the water and kind of steam the wood so it gets much more flexible. Whereas normally this stuff is pretty hard. So this is a neat little trick to try to get the curvature that I need. And have especially the edges here line up correctly. Okay, back to work. Need an improved front for our little drawer. It's finished. I'm done. Are you ready for the grand tour? Here, let me show you. Okay, first of all, this was so much fun to build, especially since I had no plan whatsoever when I started this project, and I just kept on adding features and building things as I came up with new ideas. So let me show you all the glorious features of this chair. So my thinking was, what would be convenient to have with you at all times when you're rolling around in this chair? So first up, we have the essentials, a couple of rolls of masking tape, one slot for the cheap kind, and one slot for the really nice stuff when you're feeling a bit fancy. Next up, I 3D printed this little holder for a couple of pens, so that way you have a good selection of Sharpies and markers with you at all times. And of course, you need a place to use this pen, and that's why we have this convenient pocket on the side here for all your drawings. And moving over to the other side, we have this bottle of wood glue. It's always good to have some wood glue handy. And for situations where wood glue just isn't enough, we've got this drawer here with an assortment of screws, nicely organized in these 3D printed assortment boxes. And right on top of the drawer, there's a compartment where you can put whatever you want. I choose to keep the hearing protection in here. And last but not least, a conveniently placed paper towel holder. Complete with 3D printed sharp rippy thingy to rip the paper and a hatch where you can load more paper. And just because we can, to finish things off, I painted this thing red as well. So that basically sums up this little project. All in all, I am super happy with the way this turned out. As for the actual usefulness of this, let's not talk too much about that. The most important part was that it was fun to make. It was a really fun challenge to see what I could come up with on the fly, and having to go with solving different problems that occur along the way, especially when you don't plan what you're gonna build, you sometimes end up having to build stuff the hard way. And if you wanna build one of these for yourself, there will not be any plans available for this from my end. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if I can make this thing look exactly the same one more time. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I sure had a lot of fun building it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not yet, please consider subscribing. I make a lot of different types of videos. Sometimes I make stuff without a plan. Sometimes I have a plan to begin with. And occasionally I restore stuff. You can also follow me on Instagram for more updates along the way. As for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.